Well, I mean, I thought it was a funny regular season. Obviously, with the lockout, you had a lot of high-end players early in the season, and that was throughout the league. And then the lockout ended, and it changed in a hurry, where all of a sudden you lose a bunch of guys at training camp and two guys making the big club, and then we went through a stretch of injuries and that stuff, and we're scrambling for guys. And to the credit to one, the leadership of this team that kind of kept us afloat. Was really strong, and they deserve a lot of the credit to to the guys coming in from whether it was Florida or throughout the East Coast that came in and kept us going and got us in the playoffs. Without those guys, I don't know what would have happened. And positive, a lot of probably 9-10 guys got a chance to play up in the NHL, and hopefully that kind of feeds their hunger to push themselves this summer to get a full-time job up top.
I think for the most part our year went pretty well in the regular season. We had a lot of guys step in and play really good hockey for us. It's a long season, it's a grind, but like I said, I think we had a lot of people step up, and we did a good job, but obviously a pretty disappointing ending. We had a lot of expectations in that room with that team, and I think to finish the way it finished was pretty upsetting.
It was a promising year, I think, from the start. Obviously with the lockout, it was quite a good team down here, the players, the bonds we had, and we kind of stuck with it. Second half of the year, I thought we went through a lot of turmoil, a lot of changes in lineups, and to the guys' credit in there, I thought we stuck with it. Got ourselves into playoffs, a 4th seed. After game 1, we were feeling really good. I think game 2 we let it slip, up 2-0 on the road. In game 2, you could have come home up 2-0, and we let that slip. Game 3, you come out flying, put a stamp on it. I made a joke that we wasted all the goals that night, and we probably did in some sense. Game 4, obviously it was a blowout, but the last game it was like a snowball effect almost. 2-2 going into the second. I felt great. I thought there was no way we were going to lose this game, and it was just the 3rd goal happened, the 4th goal happened, and we just couldn't stop the bleeding. So obviously it was a difficult way to end the year, but proud of the guys for what we accomplished all year.
Overall, I thought we had a good year. That's kind of the disappointing part. You go through the whole year, you work so hard to get into the playoffs, put ourselves in a position to be successful, and then you come up short in a 5-game series. I kind of think the 5-game series is a bit of a scam after you work that hard all year, but we just didn't get it done.
No, we didn't finish the year quite as strong as we wanted, but kept ourselves in a good position for playoffs. We still had home ice and that, but obviously the way it ended, we felt we were the better team and stuff. Obviously, game 4 we really got outworked, but game 5, we threw everything at them, and get 50-some shots and just couldn't capitalize on our opportunities. Really stings.
Yeah, it was a lockout year. I guess that's all you can say. It's you didn't know what to expect going in, and you didn't know what to expect during. There was a lot of crazy things that happened, especially to me and a lot of the guys in that room. So definitely a year that I'll remember and one to look back on and say that I definitely improved as a player.
I thought we had a pretty good team. It was definitely one of the best teams I've ever played on early on in the year with the lockout and a lot of guys. So it was a lot of fun. I think Charlotte's a cool city, but definitely disappointed the way it ended, and who knows where I'll be next year, but it's definitely hard to swallow.
I think it was a little bit crazy year with the whole lockout situation, and we had lots of guys hurt, and there's so many changes during the year. But I think we battled, the whole regular season, and unfortunately we came short in the playoffs. But I think this team showed a lot of character during the year with all those injuries and call-ups and everything like that. So I think we did a pretty good job at sticking out with that.
Obviously, it's a pretty disappointing season. A lot of good things happened throughout the regular season, but not being able to make it out of the first round puts a damper on all of that. So I think it's a pretty tough way to end the season, and it's unfortunate how it ended.
It's been a weird year with the lockout and everything, and a lot of new faces. But I thought the adversity was managed pretty well. I know we had some ups and downs with injuries and all that. So, all in all, I think it was a good year. Obviously, a sour taste to the end of the year with the playoffs. So that kind of is in the front of my mind right now, other than the good stuff. But I was pretty happy with the group of guys we had here for sure.
At the beginning of the year, our goal was to make the playoff, and we did it. And obviously, we ended on a pretty sad turn, I say, but I think we had a good year as a team with all the call-ups, injury, and we battled through. And I think we have kind of be proud of it. And unfortunately, we didn't win the first series. So
I think as a team, we're hoping to go on a little bit of a longer run. Obviously, it's disappointing going out in the first round, but I think we still played well. And look at the last game, shoot the team 51-30 or whatever it is. That's the issue when you get to Game 5, anything can happen. So run into a hot goalie and ends up costing us. But I think personally, he's a little bit of a funny year starting out in the East Coast League, and I thought I played well there and worked my way up here. And once I got here, my whole goal was just do whatever I had to do, game in and game out, not to get sent back down. So obviously I accomplished that, but I got to have a big summer here because I want to be a big part of this team next year full time, not just part of the year.
Well, it was definitely an interesting year, especially with the lockout. We had a lot of guys from Carolina that really helped out our team, and then we kind of went through an injury crisis for a while there, and I thought a lot of the guys really battled and competed, and did well for us to make the playoffs. And it's unfortunate. We thought we had a good team, and I really thought we could have gone the distance with this team.
There was obviously a different year with having the lockout in the beginning, and then having guys leave and come up from Florida and have kind of the core group that stays. But personally, I thought it was a good year, and kind of ended short. But you got to already start looking to next year.